Grandma, what's today?
I don't know. It's July 4th? Oh, it's the 4th of July.
That's right.
I celebrate my birthday.
Where are you going, my little one, little one? Where are you going, my baby, my own? Turn around and you're two, turn around and you're four, turn around and you're a young girl going out of the door. Turn around, turn around, turn around, and you're a young girl going out of the door. Where are you going, my little one, little one? Little dirndls and petticoats, where have you gone? Turn around and you're tiny, turn around and you're grown. Turn around and you're a young wife with babes of your own. Turn around, turn around, turn around and you're a young wife with babes of your own. Turn around, turn around, turn around and you're a young wife with babes of your own. If I never met ya, I never knowed ya. If I never knowed ya, I never loved ya. If I never met or knowed ya, I would never loved ya, but I did. And it has a do. If I never loved ya, I never kissed ya. If I never kissed ya, I never missed ya. If I never loved ya, kissed ya, I would never miss ya, but I did. And it has a do. I can point you, you love me too. I can point you say I do. I can point you if you miss me too. And if you feel the way I do. Ooh, if I never met ya, I never knowed ya. If I never knowed ya, I never loved ya. If I never met or knowed ya, I'd never loved ya, but I did. And as I do, I did, and I does, and I do, 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 I do. Darn it. Sisters, sisters, there were never such devoted sisters. Never had to have a chaperone, no sir. I'm there to keep my eye on her. Caring, sharing, every little thing that we're wearing. We're always sharing all the friends we have. We even share our mom and dad. Oh, that I were an angel. Oh, that I were an angel. And could have the wish of my heart. Could have the wish of my heart. Oh, that I were an angel. Oh, that I were an angel, and could have the wish of my heart. That I might go forth and speak with the trump of God. With a voice to shake the earth, shake the earth, and cry repentance, repentance unto every people, to every people. To every people, cry repentance unto every people, repentance. Of my heart, could have the wish of my heart, that I were.
And I've always been thankful that he was moved to Snow. Because I've loved that little place. I think it's one of the best places in the whole world. They had wonderful teachers. We had a music teacher. His name was Rufus Crandall. And he taught music in the grade school and the high school. And his wife's name was Laverne Crandall. And she was my first grade teacher. And they had never been able to have children, so they gave their lives to the children of Snowflake. He gave lessons, and if you couldn't afford to pay, just do the best you could. You could bring in a load of wood or a bucket of honey. Wow. It was just a wonderful place to grow up. There are so many people that wanted to help the young people to learn and to love each other. I just love that little town. I went to Flagstaff to college, and I was there for 3 years. And I was president of the Associated Women Students. But you know what? My bishop.
That would have changed just a lot. And where did you go?
I went to the Eastern States, and it covered a lot more of the Eastern States. The headquarters were in New York City, 175 Riverside Drive, and the church, it was a big skyscraper, and the church owned 3 complete floors of that building, and that's where the mission home was. And then when I came home, my mother was living in Salt Lake, and so I was going to move to Salt Lake. When I got there and went to register and gave them my credits, they wouldn't give me full credit, and so I wasn't going to be able to graduate in 1 year. The Lord knew this all the time. He knew I wasn't supposed to go there. So I got on a bus and headed for Arizona. I've been at Flagstaff, but this time I went to Tempe, and that's where I graduated from. The Andersen family lived in that same state. They lived in Mesa, and I lived in Tempe. And we got acquainted that way, but I went with his brother Darrell, and I just thought he was a really neat guy. It was a lot of fun. Verlin was more classy and loved to learn, and he wasn't one that went around dancing and doing all those things, and I thought Darrell was really a neat guy. But one time he said to me, you know, my brother Verlin wants to date you, and because he's my older brother, I guess I'm going to let him take you. So I want him to go with you. So he went with me, and about 3 months later we were married.
Wow.
We came up to Salt Lake to be married in the Salt Lake Temple and had to come on a bus because gas was rationed. And we were married in the Salt Lake Temple because that's where my mother lived. I'd always thought I wanted to be married in the Salt Lake Temple. So then we went down back to Mesa, and he was a CPA at that time, and he was a partner in the firm. But then he got the idea that he wanted to be a lawyer. So we hadn't had any children, and so we went to Stanford at that time. And he wrote and found out that we could have a job there. It was during the war, and they turned the fraternity houses into the boys' dormitory. So we were the dorm parents in this, for these houses, just the houses. We had about 20 boys in there. Then he came back and taught at BYU. So I stayed and taught school, and he went back to Harvard. I had 3 little boys, and my mother lived with us and took care of my 3 little boys.
Did you mention the fact that we lived at 1776 South Main?
Yeah.
Oh, very patriotic from the beginning.
From the beginning.
We had traded our home in Edgemont for this farm here, and that's so Dad could work with his kids. We were all lazy and needed somebody to work with us.
Oh.
I bet my most favorite food, though, was fresh peaches.
Oh,
That farm has the best, and had the best peaches in the country.
I don't know how it did it. They weren't big. They were these
Sure
lemon
sweet.
Alberta peaches, and they were so sweet. You didn't need sugar. You just ate them.
We had cows to milk, and we would go out and milk the cows. Well, I wouldn't, but the boys would. And I always felt kind of cheated that I wasn't a boy because I loved being outside.
We used to walk up to Westmore from here to go to school, walk back, just a dirt road, and it was, you saw a lot of friends there. Everybody kind of lived the same. You didn't really worry about which family had more than another. There wasn't anybody here that was rich at all.
We also had lots of raspberries on the farm, and we used to pick raspberries and go around and sell them. And we would raise a garden and, you know, pick the tomatoes and
the
take,
peas. Remember
and
the
the
sweet
peas.
peas?
Yes, we do the peas and then go around in our little buckets with our wagon and go around the farm and sell them.
The farm itself, I think, I remember going over and working on Uncle Ray's farm. I remember little Elaine going out through there. I remember the girls playing out in back in that yard that we had, and the fun we had. A lot of incredibly beautiful times. I think
This house was always cold in the winter, so you'd
Yeah, it was a stoker furnace. We had to stoke the furnace.
so we would come up and lay next to the wall where the vent was bringing out the heat. You get warm enough where you could go down and get dressed and then take off to school. All were we deprived.
In the olden days. In the olden days. In 1957, Mother was expecting another baby, and the baby was to be born the first part of February. And on December 11th, she was at a home, and her water broke.
Oh no.
And so they took her to the hospital. Mother had this baby, little Anne, and she was born stillborn. That she had died, I guess, just before she was born. And I remember Mother lost a lot of blood with that baby, with Anne. And when she came home, all of us had gathered all of our cookies and treats and everything together to save for Mom. I think she was in the hospital maybe 2 or 3 days, so probably came home about the 15th of December. And we had her in this little bedroom, and Dad carried her in. She was so weak that she couldn't walk. And he carried her in and put her on the bed, and all the children were gathered around the bed, and we were singing Christmas carols to her. And I remember we had all of our cookies, and I remember we had some of those peanut butter kind with the chocolate kiss in it, and the kiss was missing. And we had candy canes with the ends of them all in
Sucked off.
pointed ends on all, but we tried our best to save all of our candy for Mother. And the thing I remember about that Christmas, the Relief Society had come and taken, Mother had cut out overalls and dresses, and the Relief Society had come and sewed up all the overalls and all the dresses.
A wolf?
And when Mother opened up the box, it was all wrapped, and there was all these overalls and dresses that had been made for her children by the Relief Society. And I remember her just crying and crying. She was so grateful to the wonderful people in this ward who had, attended to her needs and made our Christmas. But I remember that was a very sad Christmas, but very memorable Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all got IOUs that Christmas. Not just me.
The great game was to light a firecracker inside of an apricot and then throw it at your buddy and see how close you could get before it would go off.
They used to have a canal that went down below here that was a great canal to put a little inner tube in and then just go down
Oh, fun.
about a quarter of a mile away, and they had a big flume there, and you'd shoot down that flume and fly out of the thing, about kill yourself, but it was great.
I was the only 2-year-old in the country with a rap sheet. So
Dale was the instigator of all things. We just followed. He may have been younger, but boy was he brilliant.
BJ and I were coming home. I guess he was 16 at the time, and I was 13 or whatever. We looked up there and, hey, our barn's burned.
Imagine that.
I bet Glenn did it.
And he did.
he did. Then he threw his racket at me, his paddle, and it hit me right in the forehead, and I had this big stream of blood going down over my face.
Didn't hurt though, did it?
It wasn't too bad.
We were having a pillow fight. One of our big things was to go down in that room, turn out the lights, and start swinging pillows.
We were right next to the
Cold room.
cold room. It was crazy.
Anyway, he was swinging, and we had these bunk beds. Remember those old steel army cots?
Yeah.
And we were fighting the way down there one time with these pillows, and Dale swung at me, and I ducked, and he compensated and hit me in the back of the head and drove my mouth into the rail, knocked all my front teeth out. These are all fake. They're not real. And I remember Mama just cried and cried. She says, "Your beautiful teeth." And I says, "Yeah, they're all over downstairs."
I don't remember hitting you, but
Well, I felt really bad. Maybe it wasn't him, maybe it was Hans.
I bet it was hands.
We'll blame him, he's not here.
Yeah. I remember one time I was working with him, and he was walking along straddling the ditch.
The furrows?
Oh, the ditch, the
Oh,
cement ditch.
Oh,
I mean, it was all he could do to be high up enough not to get wet. So I came up behind him with some big boulder and just threw it right underneath him, and it just came whoop like that. He chased me for a half hour trying to kill me.
I guess I was about 12 years old, was going down and stepped on a piece of glass
Oh, yes.
and cut my foot very bad. I was in a cast for 6 months because they were fearful that I'd cut all the tendons in my foot. we were robbed to the core.
We had a lot of angels that we wore out.
Busy.
I'll tell you
Busy,
what, I'd like
busy
to
angels.
find who they were when we get to the other side.
They'll probably, I don't want to talk to you guys. You're crazy.
One of the best things about that farm that I recall was that Mom and Dad really took an interest in us and held family home eating religiously every Monday night. I don't think I can recall.
Well, that's kind of before they really had a as formal a program as you do now.
One of the things I recall Dad's way of talking with us is if we had a question, he would always say, let us see what the scriptures have to say. Invariably, that was his response.
And Mom used to make a lot of whole wheat bread. We had a lot of whole wheat bread, had a lot of beans.
And milk.
And milk. Yeah, we had our own milk. And of course, we would put up lots and lots of grape juice the old-fashioned way, where you put it in a flour sack and drain it, twist it with a wooden spoon, and twist it,
I
and
thought
then it
Bill
would
was going
drip.
to jump on it.
And drip.
I bet.
And long hours. I remember Mother hauling, bushel baskets around all the time. She was such an amazing worker. I mean, she had the capacity to work like nobody I've ever seen, except you ladies. But she could just, physically, she was strong, and she would come out and pick fruit and keep us all going, and then put up hundreds and hundreds of quarts of, fruit.
I think my favorite meal that Mom used to cook, she didn't do it often, but I just loved it. She'd make waffles, and we'd put strawberries and put cream on it.
I think there was a lot of joy in our home, growing up. It wasn't always spotlessly clean, for sure. There was probably a lot of chaos and confusion, but there was a lot of happiness.
But Dad was very, very persistent in making sure that we understood what the scriptures meant to him. And he tried desperately to instill that same love of the scriptures and of his love of the Savior in each one of us. And if there's any goodness that has come from that, I would say that's where it came from. Dad was always obedient. Mama would always do what she could to sustain and honor Dad in his callings.
Dad was teaching at BYU and also working part-time as an attorney, so he wasn't home a lot, but when he did come home, we would have meals together and we would eat breakfast together, and there was a wonderful feeling of security and just a lot of joy. There was just a lot of love. My mom and Dad loved and respected each other so much, and so there was a very strong feeling of peace and security. We felt so secure in their love.
I remember also when, was it Dean that was born? And
he was across the street in the other house.
Yeah, across the street, but we were all looking out, waiting for Mom and Dad to come home with the baby, and it was a dirt road, and it was seemed like it was an old station wagon that they come tearing down the road and came and parked, and we all go running out to see the baby, and we're all yelling at each other, "Don't get too close, he can't breathe." Yeah, he can. And then we took the baby in the house and had that long table. Where's the table now?
Coffee table.
Wherever it is, put the baby in the little carrier in the middle of the table, and we had a prayer. Ooh, we prayed about our little brother.
That's right.
It was a sweet experience.
It was. So grateful for another baby. We just inherited that love of children. We knew it was the greatest thing for our family is another baby.
I don't remember a time when I didn't have a testimony. It was always there, and that would have come from the folks.
So I'll try and sing "Somewhere My Love" with my lovely wife playing the piano.
Lord above will bless us and help us to live worthy of this blessing divine. Through all eternity I'll be near you, and though we are two, we'll be one. Together, hand in hand, we'll walk through this life as planned, and through all eternity.
But anyway, that's the story of my life.
Through all eternity, I will love you. Through all eternity, you'll be mine. Together, hand in hand, we'll walk through this life as blind. And then on and on, through all eternity, through all
I'm Berlin Andersen, and my wife Shirley. How great it is to be here at this family reunion. We're so happy to have all of our children here.
Thanks for being here. It's just wonderful.
We're sure going to treasure this videotape in the future. Thanks very much.